International law governing civil aviation. In this presentation, we shall consider a few issues. First of all, we shall consider the introduction to aviation law and rulemaking. We shall look at the general regulatory environment. We shall look at the regulations governing remotely piloted aircraft systems, and we shall also consider other relevant regulations made by the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. Aviation, by its nature, is international, and there is one international organization which regulates and controls aviation all over the world. This is called the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. ICAO was formed by an international treaty in 1944 in Chicago. This treaty is called the Chicago Convention. The Chicago Convention governs all matters that concern the operation of civil aviation across all countries in the world. Apart from the Chicago Convention, we have annexes to the Chicago Convention, which are rules and regulations, standards and recommended practices, which govern all aspects of aviation. For example, there's an annex called personnel licensing that governs how personnel who work in the aviation industry are licensed. There's an annex called Rules of the Air, which governs the so-called highway code, or how the rules that govern the flight of aircraft in the air. ICAO manages to control and to manage aviation through the civil aviation authorities which are established in each of the countries in the world. For example, in the USA, we have the Federal Aviation Administration, which is the body mandated to regulate aviation in USA. In the UK, we have the Civil Aviation Authority UK, CAA UK, which regulates the aviation issues in United Kingdom. In Australia, there is the Civil Aviation Safety Authority, CASA, which is also the regulator in Australia. In Kenya, we have the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, KCAA, which is the body which regulates and governs aviation within the country. As we have said, ICAO has annexes to the Chicago Convention, of which there are 19 currently. On top of that, it issues various technical manuals and circulars on issues which are of concern to aviation. The circular that ICAO has issued concerning remotely piloted aircraft systems is called ICAO Circular number 328. This circular apprises member states of ICAO's perspective on the integration of remotely piloted aircraft systems into the non-segregated airspace and at aerodromes. Non-segregated airspace just means that airspace which is available to both manned and unmanned aircraft. This circular also considers the fundamental differences between remotely piloted aircraft systems and manned aviation. It encourages member states to develop policies to assist ICAO in developing policy on remotely piloted aircraft system based on the experiences which have been achieved in each of the respective countries.